I bet when you hear the name Andy Griffith, you don't think about science fiction or even a rip-roaring adventure show. Instead, it's likely that you immediately think of this guy, Sheriff Andy Taylor, sheriff of everyone's favorite small town, Mayberry, North Carolina. Truthfully, so did I. I watched reruns of the Andy Griffith Show whenever I could during the early 70s. There is something about this wonderful show that just sets my heart at peace while still making me chuckle. And then in the mid-70s, Andy was making quite a name for himself as a huckster for Ritz crackers. To this day, I can still hear the man saying, "Good cracker, good cracker." Pretty darn effective advertising, if you ask me. So with all that said, let's talk for a minute about one of my favorite TV movies from the late 70s, 1979 to be exact. So we're post-Star Wars, post-Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The whole world seemed to have gone crazy for science fiction, whether it's movies or TV shows. Battlestar Galactica has come and gone, and Buck Rogers, well, it's a thing. And Andy Griffith, well, it just seemed like the right thing to do. So with all that said, let's talk about this movie that I remember being simply titled Salvage, although the TV guide listing on the screen right here seems to contradict that memory. It was a pilot for a new TV series starring Griffith called Salvage 1. The premise of the movie and the series was simple. Griffith plays an everyman kind of feller named Harry Broderick, who decides to build a spaceship. He's a junk dealer. He decides to take that spaceship, go to the moon, and salvage all of the equipment that's been left behind. Now, way back then, the plot of this movie seemed not only whimsical, but also quite fantastical. Never in a million years did I ever think that I'd see a day when there would be private companies building spaceships expressly for the purpose of commercial gain. But here we are currently. There are two companies racing to the moon, Elon Musk's SpaceX, as well as Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. Who will get there first? Who knows? What we do know is that in 1979, Harry Broderick decides to put together a ragtag team, including Joel Higgins as a former astronaut, and Trish Stewart as a NASA fuel expert, and during that 2-hour TV pilot, they go to the moon and back in just a couple of days. It's really a fun little movie, and you know what? TV viewers enjoyed it. The movie had such great ratings, in fact, that the network execs gave the TV series a green light immediately. As I think about it, it's quite possible that that green light came long before the movie aired, because there really wasn't much time between the airing of the movie and the premiere of the TV show. Anyway, the show definitely had some momentum. Heck, they were even able to get legendary Isaac Asimov on board as a consultant for a handful of episodes. It turns out that he was a fan of Griffith's, and it didn't take much to persuade him to assist when his particular expertise was required. So the giddy, greedy network executives pitted the show against WKRP and Little House on the Prairie. I think they call this type of thing counterprogramming, meaning that they think people who don't want to watch a hip urban situation comedy or a family-oriented period show might be attracted to something else, whatever's scheduled against them. Sadly, it appears that in an era when many homes didn't have more than one TV, after those two shows, there really wasn't much of an audience left to watch Salvage 1. Should the show have run longer than 16 episodes? Absolutely. It is a crime that there were 4 unaired episodes that remained unaired for years. And as well, the biggest crime has got to be that this show has never been released on DVD or streaming. You can watch a bootleg copy of the movie on YouTube, but this show deserves to be released in a cleaned up, remastered collector's edition. The cast of this show was really something special. Aside from Griffith, the other cast members found quite a bit of success, most notably Joel Higgins, who starred with Ricky Schroeder and Erin Wilma Deering Gray in the family sitcom Silver Spoons, and Stewart returned to the role of Chris Brooks Foster on the daytime soap opera The Young and the Restless. She played that character for about a decade, both before and after Salvage 1. And since I wasn't much of a Young and the Restless fan, I remember her best on The Match Game post-Salvage 1. always articulate and witty. Trish was fun to watch on that show. Of course, Griffith would find huge success on television again a few years later in Matlock. It's a role that would define his later years as an actor. Many fans of Griffith actually prefer this character over that of Sheriff Andy Taylor. I'm sorry, folks. I just can't get on board that train, although I do enjoy rewatching episodes of Matlock from time to time on MeTV. I think one of the things that I am most grateful about Salvage 1 is that it replaced this with this. And that, my friends, is never a bad thing. Alright, one more picture. I love this photo. It really captures the spirit of Salvage 1, a show that left us long before it should have. Alright, now it's your turn. Were you a fan of the show? Leave your memories in the comments section, and if you enjoyed the video, please click on the like button and share with your friends and family on Facebook and Twitter. While you're at it, why not subscribe to my little channel? I talk about music, movies, and television, mostly from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. In fact, there are a couple of other really good videos about Andy Griffith that you can click on and enjoy right now. Go ahead, I won't mind. I'm wrapping up here anyway. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.